try my best to get that thing out without taking the faceplate off there. So, but anyway, we'll keep it moving here, Jer. Hopefully you were hearing Don okay. I think he got a WebSDR pulled up in the background, so you might be able to make things suffice. So back out to you, Jerry. KE9U with WC4D. That's his call, Don, KE9U. WC4D in the group. This is W3MMR. Out to you, Jerry.
Okay, Perry, I was pausing there, see if anybody else is going to show up here. And yeah, I had to pull Don up on the K3FEF mics. I can hear Don directly, just not real strong yet, I'm sure, but you're just booming in here. And good morning to you, Don. Yeah, oh, okay, man, I missed that. Well, you know what? I think it was later. I think you might have sent me a message, and I don't watch my Facebook hardly much anymore at all. So, yeah, Kevin has my phone number, so if you get a hold of him there, I'd give it to you, but I don't think you're going to hear me, so we'll catch that. But that would have been fun. Yeah, it'd been nice to meet you. We're not too far from 65. Closer to 37 highway, but you know, we're only talking a couple of miles, so it's not bad. We shop over there by the interstate, so that would have been nice. Nice to meet you. Had coffee or something. That'd been pretty good. And Perry, I was listening on the, I think I was during the whole MailNet, and you mentioned, I think you jumped on the Annan, so boy, I hate to hear that, but always a glitch, isn't there? Always something with these things. And I know that's what happened to this little Ranger, and why I ended up doing what I did. Talking with Robert, told him what I wanted to do, and built the power supply, and then we changed some meter shunts and got it to where it won't grenade like that, and everything's external. And nice thing I like about it, when I'm key, all the voltages are off, so the thing in the decks, the DC filament when I'm not keyed up. Yeah, but this is all I have now, is this little Ranger, modified, the medieval Ranger, as Brian TBW calls it. But and I regret, I tell you, I sold my Annan, you know. It's just one of those deals, and I tried the Expert Electronics Sun SDR, which is nice, but a couple of things in there I didn't care for, and one of them majorly was the fact that it had a 10-minute timer on phone. Probably CW as well. They just said they were protecting their filters, so I'm not sure why or what that's about, but you know, I couldn't even use it as a grid control for exciting the thing, because that'd be fun, wouldn't it, to have it plated up and lose grid all of a sudden because the time's out. So I moved it, but that's a gorgeous rig. But Don, WMBHI, told me Richie's back and has really been working on performance upgrades, making that thing work much better. So I guess it's pretty real stable and doing real nice. But yeah, I tell you, any of those SDRs right now, they're just hard to get. They come for sale, they go quickly, but I don't really have the cash for it anyway. So I had no sideback capabilities. Anyway, that's the way it is right now. But good to hear you guys. Boy, nice signals. And Don, hopefully you hear me. And again, I'm listening to you on the SDR Kiwi. And hear you direct, just not as strong. But hopefully you're doing the same. So WC4D, Kilo Echo 9 uniform is the new call. Over to you, Don.
Young Ford JK.
Oh, wow, look who's here. Good morning, Art. KE9U. I'll get here, Jerry. Yeah, I'm listening to you on SDR, which I need to mute right quick because, wow, that was loud. And, yep, I got your number from Kevin. I guess Kevin's down in Florida. He must have went down to St. George Island. same thing they do once a year. I think every year they go down there. I used to live about 70 miles away from it when I lived in Tallahassee, and that was one of our best places I like going to. I like it going better there than Panama City, which was 100 and something miles from Tallahassee, but St. George Island was really nice, and we used to do a lot of fishing there and stuff. I had to switch over to SDR. Perry, you came up to 30 over. Yeah, it was amazing, but it just seemed like you just started blasting and no problem at all then. I don't know what's going on. It don't seem like I'm not getting much power out for some reason today. SWR is 1.08, so I don't have much SWR, but it's not modulating very well. I don't know what the problem is. I guess it's from lack of use. And good morning to you, Art. I guess everything's fine down in Florida. And are you entertaining Kevin this week anytime? Since but you guys are still a ways away from everybody, so I guess seeing him would not be very easy. I guess from where you're at, it's still going to be an hour or so drive each way or more. So that's what happens with all that. So I'll turn it over to you, let you pick it up, and you can turn it back to Perry, and we'll go with that from there. So with that being said, let's see if I can make it. I am terrible with call signs. I'm sorry, guys. I really apologize. I am really bad. I recognize it when I hear it. I just can't remember anything anymore. So N4JK. N4JK, C48, over to you.
Okay, Don, C4D and group N4JK. Well, I understand what you mean about the memory lane. I just cheat like crazy. I keep a electronic notepad up here on the monitor. Keep calls and remarks that way, so when I lose my mind, it doesn't show so much. Anyway, good to hear you this morning. And it's just amazing. Band conditions have changed so much. In a couple of weeks, it's gone from puny to good. Terry, you are knocking me out. I'm going to have to give you a 30 over report too. You got a bad case of at a 9. It really makes you sound good. Gary, the Ranger's doing a fine job. I can't believe you sold your 09, but I'm sure that made good sense. I'm still running my old off the Flex 5000. And sounds like it has similar features to what you run. I've got a little window that I can look at on the pan display, and it says that solar flux right now is 77, A is 10, and K is 2. And okay. And there's a guy out there, Daryl, 89NL, that continues to upgrade the software for this older radio, and adds very nice features to it. Do everything I want and a whole lot more that I don't even understand. Let's see. Don, I don't know about Kevin. I wasn't sure that he was going to get away. I know that there was some question about red tide, and I guess that they worked everything out and it's cleared up. So Joe and I and John, I guess we will try to find a convenient time and go over and aggravate Kevin here while he's down. From here, it's about a 2-hour trip. Plus, there's a time zone shift. So it's a little bit to it. It's a place where he's stayed over at St. George. It's real nice. I know he and his family have been having a big time. I haven't seen Kevin in a couple of years. So hopefully he can get over there. Anyway, up she comes to you there, Jerry. I know you're working for a living, just like Kevin. Keep up the good work. Hope it doesn't hurt too much. W3MMR in the group from N4 Jenkins. KK4 GZQ.
See, I knew if he was able to get on the radio, he was going to be on after talking about him. Because his ears were burning. He was probably in the bathroom. Like, what the hell's going on here? And he walks out to that 392 and he cranks it up like, oh, now I know what's going on. What's up, Kev? Good morning, man. Guess you're not in Florida. Maybe you are, but my God, if you are, you got a good signal from that antenna off the porch or off the back deck. That was cool last year when you went, man. That was real cool, and I was wondering if you were going to go again this year, but here you are, and you can answer us all yourself. Let me make a couple comments here. Okay, Jerry, real good. Wow, I didn't know that's the only transceiver or transmitter you have now is the Ranger. How about that? Didn't know you sold the Anon. Bummer about the Sun SDR. I've heard a few guys on them on AM. A guy, Chris, I can't remember his call. He hasn't been on lately, on AM anyway. But he had a Sun SDR, and he did a comparison between the Sun and the Anon and did a good write-up on it on his website. So if you Google it, I'm sure you could find it. But Richie, you're right. Richie Ramdor, a.k.a. Ramdor, has been working on the Anon software again for the past few months. Took a pretty long hiatus, but then he's been back working on it. I'm not running his updated version that he's been updating. I'm running an older one because it works so damn good, and I have his other version on here if I want to use it, but 9 times out of 10 I use the old trusty method until that all gets ironed out. Good morning to you, Art. Art, this is probably the strongest I've ever heard you, to be honest with you. You're right up on the edge of 30 over S9 this morning. Band is in great shape, and you're right. The band in the past couple of weeks has really made a change and really flipped a switch to wintertime type operating. Here on 80 and on 160 meters. I've been getting on 160 well, not every morning, but every once in a while in the early mornings, and it's been great conditions from here up into the Northeast, up into New England, so it's been fun getting on the radio, and I'm using like I said, using the Anon this morning, but I have been trying to get my recording stuff going again, so I'm recording this morning, and it'll be up on YouTube later if you guys want to check it out and see how strong y'all are. But it's been a while, and I figured since wintertime coming up, and people have been asking me about it, and so I figured, what the hell, I might as well do it, especially now since my Ranger's blown up and I don't feel like lugging the DX100 in the other room. So we'll get on here for a while and do some recording. And real quick about the KE9NS software, because a lot of you guys are familiar with it, because I know a lot of you guys have had Flexes. I've never had a Flex. I've never run it, but I'm real impressed by his software. I mean, the guy is constantly, staying up on it for an older rig. Very passionate about it. Helps a lot of people out. A lot of really cool features, a lot of visual features, a lot of stuff that can, great operating features to make our lives easier. I just wish that I could use that software on the Anon. It's the same basic principle as Power SDR. But the GUI looks almost exactly the same, but I guess the internals and the stuff that's above my pay grade is different. So it would be cool to try to use that, be able to use that with the Anon, but unfortunately I can't, so I'm going to have to stick with what I got, but I'm happy with what I got. So anyway, I'll turn it down to you, Kevin. Kevin, you'll turn it up to Jerry, KE9U, and then it goes back to Don after that. KK4GZQ, the mayor of Nonesuch in the group, W3MMR.
Okay, Terry, I was just holding up just a second there to see anybody else out there. W3MMR with the group, KK4GZQ. Stand by just a second here. Just a little bit of flex showing up. There you go. Touch up the tuner here just a tad here, guys. Good morning to you, Perry, and good morning, Art. Good morning to you, Jerry, and good morning to Don. WC4D, I understand, is in there this morning as well. I'm on the BC610G this morning. Old Mousetrap, still pumping out about 300 watts carrier here. And listening to you guys, Perry, you gave a mention of the R392. I'm really starting to learn to like this receiver quite a bit. I need to get inside of the HQ180 and we'll probably recap it. It's time for it. So I plan on hanging on to that rig. So maybe get with Don and let him give me a few pointers on what to look for, what have you. And Art, looking forward to seeing you guys if you make it over. Thinking probably somewhere around Wednesday, Thursday to let us get our feet on the ground and get acclimated there, and probably everybody will be settled in good by then. Probably be able to get some time off with you guys and do whatever we do best. And looking forward to seeing you guys, no doubt about that. And Art, I wanted to remind you that I'm going to be calling you by phone probably before we leave here, or either that or during the trip down, because when we get down there, I think home. All have phones, and I believe they're all Sprint. And at least the last time we were down there, which last time we were on the island was the time that we saw you or no, we actually saw Joe and didn't get to see you. We were over in Destin, Fort Walton, and spent about 4 days, and still no Sprint service out there on St. George. So that kind of puts me off the air as far as that goes. We've got a landline there, and we've got internet access, I think. But I'm real leery about going on a lot of these vacation sites and using their, you know, I've caught a bug here a couple years ago doing that. And it was from down at St. George. Got back, heck, I had all kinds of stuff going on. So anyway, let me send it on around to Jerry, KE9U, and see what's going on there. That's about all I've got this morning, other than sitting here. I'm getting ready to head out here, guys, and we've got 2 days. It's going to be 70 and around and sunny here for the next today and tomorrow, and we're going to turn off cooler into the 60s for high temperatures, and I've got one last job here, a pretty sizable house and all the concrete and whatnot, getting ready to do it by myself, and we'll wrap it up probably tomorrow morning and start packing and getting ready to leave out of here Friday night, Saturday morning early, around 4 a.m. So here it comes to you, Jerry, and thanks for letting me in here, guys. Good to hear all of you. KE9U to take it, KK4GZQ.
Okay, Jeff, good morning to you. I have to pull you up on the FEF as well. I can't hear you direct. KE9U in the group this morning. Good morning, Art. You're going a big signal here. So, yeah, the band is long. I think that's probably the propagation changes. I think, Perry, earlier when you and Frank were in there, I wasn't hearing you, either one of you, very well, and there might have been others early this morning, but the band was just poor. But, of course, picking up now, so the distance is there, but I'm sure probably about 7:30ish or something, Kevin and Don would just come banging in here. Seems like that gray line hits, and that's just about the way that works for here. And but I'm going to have to get out of here pretty quick, head to the Menards or Lowe's, actually Lowe's, got some flooring came in. Go pick that up, and I'm going to remodel the main bedroom here in the house, so the fun of that one, it's not laying it and all that. That's always fun. It's just getting the furniture out of the way. It's not fun. We got some heavy dressers and an armoire in there that's, I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do this by myself. Get some of those wheels somehow, or sliders fitted, I think. I didn't think of that in advance. And Art, at the time it seemed good to Sylvianum, but I certainly do regret. And it's like one of those deals you go, oh well. I may have to get me a part-time job. Maybe I'll have to go work at Menards Stocker like the other old guys out there and save up and buy me another one. If they're available. I guess all that stuff's getting hard to get. And Perry, Darren, on the KE9NS, when his wife was back in school, I don't know what her degree she was trying to get, but there were several guys offered to send him an Anna. And he just didn't have the time. That's what he does for a living. He's a software engineer and programmer, so it comes pretty easy for him. But now that he's had time, I had kind of got the feeling from the rumor, Don, W9BHI, doesn't live that far from him, talks to him. I thought he was toying with the idea of going ahead and looking at making the KE9NS work with the Annas. So, how that is. I don't know if that's a true rumor or not, but I guess you could ask him, just shoot him an email. Because, he does a super job on that. It's really a nice piece of software. But, I don't know if that'll ever come to fruition or not, but who knows? Maybe it will. Anyway, let's see here. And Don, St. George Island. My wife and son's been there 2 or 3 times with friends, but I've always had to work. Now that I don't have to work, we just don't want to go. So I hate driving. I traveled so long all my life, I'm thinking. And I understand what Art said about, it's 2.5 hours over there. If I remember right, Art, too, there is no easy way to drive there either. Maybe guys can find the midway point. Anyway, Don, over to you. I think you should still be hearing me here on at least on the Kiwi. And I'll listen out and a little bit and say 7.3s. Go ahead and pick up my 17 boxes of corn. So, what a pleasure. Thanks for letting me in this morning. And Perry, I did want to mention, the audio chain is the same that I've always used. And this Ranger, I'm feeding the grids of the 6L6s directly, so the outboard audio, so it should pretty much sound the same. Which is kind of nice, I guess. WSC4D, here comes to you. I'll say good morning. 7.3's all around from KE9U.
KE9U, WC40. Good job, Derek. Yeah, I had to pick you up on SDR, and I had to pick Kevin up, too. I couldn't hear him. Harry was booming in here. And I actually had to go pick him up on SDR also. So it's SDR kind of morning this morning. Art, you're the only one making the trip, buddy, and doing a fine job, too, I might add. I'm going to keep it short. Kevin, I'm sorry. I thought you had already left maybe this past weekend. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe because I was tied up with my grandson all weekend and him being here all week. I've got a week behind or something. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I'm going to jump out here, say 73s to Joey, say 73s to everyone else. And I'm going to listen just a bit. I've got to get ready to go out this morning. I was going to pick up my Pfizer booster shot this morning, maybe diabetic and everything else in the world, old and decrepit. They decided, my wife and everybody else thinks I should go get my booster shot. So I've done signed up for it. I'll be picking it up this morning. So get it done at 9. So I'll say 73s, everyone. Have a great day. Over to you, Art, and we'll catch you later. N4JK, WC40.
WC4D from N4JK. Okay, Don. Glad you're going to get your shot. wife has gotten hers. She has some immune deficiency, so she got hers a couple of weeks ago. Worked out fine, didn't grow horns or anything. But I'm not eligible yet, and I figured a couple of weeks to make it so I'll go and get mine as soon as I can. And just have that over there. I tell you what, you continue to get stronger, Don. You're pretty darn loud. Yeah, I'm in the best seat right now. I'm hearing everybody real good. It sounds like Perry just moved to this, and he's still at. Let's see. And Gary, the thing about going over to see Kevin, you're right. There's no easy way to get there. You have to go through Panama City. Through Panama City Beach, a lot of old towns. But the reward is you get to see Kevin and you get to see his tribe. You know, they're all interesting folks. But his mom in particular is really cool. So I like her more than I like Kevin, I'll be honest with you. And let's see, Gary, good luck over Lowe's. Hope you find what you need, and was it present? Well, I got some of that lined up here. It's beautiful weather down here right now. It's only 59 degrees, and it'll get into the 70s here today. So I'm going to go out and tackle the yard. Got a lot of stuff needs to come down. And humidity's dropping. It's no longer a pain to get out there and do some work. It'll be a pleasure, so I'll get out there. Probably get a lot done today. For the next day or two, we won't have rain until toward the end of the year. On Darren's Power SDR and all, he sure has done a good job for Flex folks. And I wish he would take up the I love sound of the non-regular thing. They all sound had a dominant thing. Even when the band's there, it's still amazingly good audio. The other thing I wish for is someone deal with Linux would come up with a would run Power SDR or the Anon version of it under Linux. I sure would like to lose Windows. Particularly with them coming up with Windows 11 that run on any of the normal computers. So we're trying to figure out how to deal with that next year or two. Kevin, on the Sprint stuff, was it Sprint that merged with T-Mobile? I'm trying to remember who that was. But I'll tell you down here, T-Mobile has really expanded, even invested in 5G capability now. And they've really improved their network, so I suspect that's the trend all over. Yeah, if you can get on the internet, just poke around a little bit, see what you can find. I hope it'll be better for you this time. Let's see, as far as this coming week, my calendar's clear except Friday. I've got one thing. I've got to do Friday, but hopefully me and Joe and John can get together and come over there and aggravate you some. Now, Perry, I'll tell you, when I loaded up the mic, I heard a laugh and I heard a syllable or two, and I just knew from that we were in trouble. So you have to be careful. So, what can you do? W3MMR and the group from N4JK.
Yeah, just dragging my foot behind me because I'm so tired I can't walk. I'm just dragging myself along this morning. N4JK in the group W3MMR. Man, the band's still holding up great. This will be my final, but man, oh man, what great conditions we've had this morning. Everyone is coming in fantastic. Art, you've been solid 20 to 25 over the entire time. I've never heard you this strong. I'm sure we've talked at this time of the morning, early like this, you know, because usually you'll get on a little later, second shift, I call it, you know, 6:30, 7 o'clock, and but maybe that's why. But I don't. It's well, here we are, 6:40, and you're still 25 over. So I don't think that's it. I think it's just Mother Nature coming around and turning the corner. Anyway, real quick, guys, I mentioned cell phones. I have Xfinity Mobile. I don't know if you guys have Xfinity as like a cable provider down there, but they used to be Comcast. It's real big here. They call this Comcast country because I guess it's where it came from. So I have Xfinity television and cable, and I was like, well, what the heck? I'll get their mobile service too because they use Verizon. We use Verizon towers. But I thought Verizon towers were going to be good. I thought, you know, they'd probably be one of the best by the way they advertise it. But that's not the case. You know, there's places where I live in the city, as you guys know, and where you would think you would have service all the time. And sometimes I go down to one or two bars. I'm like looking, and I'm sure if I looked hard enough, I could see a cell tower, you know, within distance. So, which is kind of weird. Before that, I had Metro by T-Mobile. Obviously, it's T-Mobile's towers. They were much better. I thought T-Mobile service here in this area was much better than Verizon. Seems like everywhere I went, I had really good service and much better. Like my dad lives out in the country in South Jersey, and I don't get much service with my cell phone there now. But I remember with my old phone, I did. But I do have 5G now. I never had 5G before, and I will say, I don't know if you guys have had any experience with 5G on your phones, but it's fast. It's as fast as my home Wi-Fi, or faster. My home Wi-Fi is about 500 megabits per second download or whatever. Halfway to a gig, so it's pretty darn quick. But sometimes it's just as fast as regular 4G. Okay, it's not any faster. So I guess they're still working out obviously the kinks and such. So, but it works pretty darn good, and I'm happy with it. Just picked up a Galaxy S21 Plus because I destroyed my S10 Plus at work. It dropped and destroyed the phone screen. It didn't have any insurance on it, and since it has a Gorilla Glass phone screen, it was $250 to repair, and it was $220 to get an upgrade on my phone, so I just got the upgrade. Anyway, sorry about that little tangent about cell phones, but anyway, we'll say 7-3, guys. Again, really great morning, man. Such a good time, such great band conditions here. Again, if you guys want to go and check out the recording on YouTube, it'll be up there in a couple hours once it ends up loading. So just search your call on YouTube, and then I'm sure it'll pop up. So anyway, 7-3, guys. I'll turn it back up to you, Jer. I'll be listening out for the remainder as we're moseying around, getting ready for work and getting a bite to eat and getting dressed and all that stuff here. So 7-3, guys. Hopefully to catch you again tomorrow morning. Don, great hearing you as always. Kevin, Art, the whole crew. Don, don't be a stranger. Use all that equipment, man. I want to hear some of that old stuff fired up. 7-3, guys. Have a great day. Here it comes, Jared. KE9U and the fine group. 7-3 from W3MMR. We are listening out.
Okay, Perry, I think it was sent to Kevin, and I went ahead and signed as well. So, Kevin, hopefully you're hearing me on the SCR Kiwi or something. If not, Art, pass it to him. So 7-3 from KE9U. Good morning.
7-3, Gary. Hope you have a good day there. And don't get carried away over there alone. Kevin, give me some KK4G that's in the route from M4JK.
See you, boys.
And Jerry and Don. Okay, guys. Fine business. N4JK in the group, KK4GZQ. And I copied everybody. I went online here and I'm using, I have been using K3FEF. And I've been using, I don't know, something happened with Mike's up there, and I haven't checked him in a while, but I've been using a Web SDR over in DC that I'm pretty happy with. NA5B, November Alpha 5 Bravo. And I like the software on it, and the layout of it's pretty good. So, and they've got everything labeled on the band and whatnot. So, anyway, couple of notes. And Perry, continue to turning out that good work I see you doing up there. I catch your pictures of some of your weld jobs and whatnot, and you're pretty doggone good, buddy. Stay at it. That's a trade that'll you'll always have work. And Perry's really a good mechanic. I've seen a lot of his different work, not just welding. He can break something down and get it back together all the way down to the last nut and bolt. And Perry, if you're still listening, yeah, you remember the antenna. Joe got the biggest kick out of that antenna that I put up on that back deck of the place there. That's been since the whole family was there. That's been, wow. Has it been 5 years ago? Yeah, I think so, Art. Since you and John and Joe showed up over, has it been that long? I know it's been longer than that because we've been in Fernandina Beach 2 years ago. Mom, Don, and myself and the dog went there. Yeah, it's been since you and Joe and John came over, Art. It's been, I'm thinking, close to 5 years. Anyway, check me on that, Art. I'm curious to know. But that antenna it worked pretty well, but I didn't get it up as high as I would have liked to have, and I'm kind of concerned about where we're staying this time, but I have looked at some satellite imagery and et cetera, and it looks like I can hide an antenna out there, and I do have some tall trees around, so we'll just see what happens. That's part of the fun of it, of seeing how I can get an antenna up in some of these places and without going undetected rather. And Art, yes, well, that's par for the course, Art, on your comment there. Everybody likes Mom better. You ought to see the way her little dog is about her. I mean, he just worships the ground that he walks on behind her, just worshiping the ground she's just walked on. I'm telling you. And Mom is good, and she's doing well. And her and Don both are in good health and in good spirits. And so is my brother Tim. He's had a good year with his business as well, and staying busy and keeps a good attitude. I'm the black sheep here, Art. You know that. Anyway, you guys were talking about SDR and the Linux versus the Windows and whatnot. Yeah, I'm interested, Art, in getting my Flex out this season and finally getting that darn software downloaded. I haven't wanted to dig that CPU out that I've got it kind of buried back here in the corner. You have to take out the supply and the rig and all that just to get it out, and I don't keep it actually hooked up to the internet. It's just standalone for the Flex 3000, if you will. No keyboard or anything. I've just got the mouse remote and also that Flex control. I've got one of those on the 3000 here, Art. So 7-3 to Don and Jerry, and it sounded like Jerry was busy doing some sort of a room remodel. And I didn't catch what Don was doing, but I'll get up with Don before I leave here. And Art, Sprint T-Mobile, I hope so. Would be great to go down there and have service finally after all these years. I've never had service on the island. Back down to you, Art, and I'll stick in here for maybe one or two more to see if anybody else shows up. Send through those who have signed, and over to you, Art. And drag your feet there. Maybe some others are ready to come in. N4JK, KK4GZQ. J4VZS.
Yeah, you got to be careful what you ask for. Oh, morning, Joe. K4JCP joining in. This is N4JK. Well, I'm sure you've been hearing some of this.
Her VZS as well.
Pull up on the computer. See when it was the last time we got to look at it. October 30th, 2019. I have a picture up on my monitor now of you in the corner of the deck so that the wood band thing supports behind me there. And hanging off of, I guess the sky is in the center. So that was an impressive portable antenna installation. Well, we'll get on 3,000. Those control units, flex control, they're kind of hard to find. Anyway, I'll be glad we get that all hooked up and try this new release of the Power SDR. It's pretty neat. It has a learning curve too, but if you know how to use the other stuff, you'll be fine. Real good on using NA5B. I've used that some. That's a good site. And let's see. My parents on new phone, Galaxy phone. I prefer to use one too. I had to let the old Windows phone go, and now I have an Apple phone. And it's boy, life's a whole lot different with Apple. Apple works all the time. I'm enjoying that, getting used to the new phone, and I changed service from AT&T to T-Mobile, and I'm real pleased with it. I've got fine coverage. So hopefully it's okay. Also, if I can dig into the T-Mobile map on the internet, see what they're showing for sectors. Awesome stuff. And Terry was right. Mother Nature has been most kind to us this morning. Good for us. Joe, Perry has left us, W3MMR, and Guarantee they bailed while they could. So it's just me, and I think Don's still WC4D. So let me throw it over to you and see how your weekend was. K4JCP interview, and then N4JK.
Yeah, all right. Good morning to you and others. Here is K4JCP. I got in just Jay was coming over. Yes. And I was wondering, say, you had mentioned the April 2019. Yes. And I didn't see it. I was thinking late summer or something. Down about a 3 hot night. I knew you'd keep the record of it. You are the man that keeps records of everything. Anyway, yeah, that was a fun trip down there, and boy, does know how to make a impressive well this time. I'm just where they have a 7-Eleven on St. George Island. Well, I guess we'll have to find out. Speaking of SDR, on my phone, pull up an SDR. I think I did to Orlando. It does a special one for to work on cell phones, at least the Apple one. And we've been interested in the 14th century on it, so they pay for easy listening. I think we actually and we were able to actually listen to our coming back from Business Phillips. We were on I-10, I guess the other side of Tallahatchie, listening to our church service over the web.
KK5IM. KK5IM, 4JK, 4JCC.
That's Whiskey Charlie over there on the 45 AM Pendergrass JCC. KK5IM and Mac was in there too. You hear Don there?
No, are you there, Don? WC4D from N4JK.